this is Carrie of Firefly Community, and I'm here today to demonstrate how to do a yin yoga pose called supported fish pose. This is one of my favorite poses for a number of reasons. It's really great for improving your posture and also helping open up your chest, stretch the muscles of the chest, abdomen, and throat, and also the muscles along the rib cage, the intercostal muscles. So it really helps to expand your breathing, and also it helps to counter some of the effects that we get from all of the things that we do throughout our day that move our head and our shoulders forward. So many of us work on a computer throughout the day, and so we're hunched over, maybe bringing the shoulders forward and head forward. So we get that forward head syndrome and the rounding and the thoracic spine. So this pose helps to open up the front line of the body, drop the shoulders and the head back, and also open up the throat. So it's really great for anybody who spends a lot of time working on a computer, driving. It's also really beneficial for cyclists such as myself. As I mentioned, it also stretches the muscles along the rib cage, so it helps to expand our breathing as well. I'll show you a few different variations of this pose that you can come into depending on what props that you have available. So you can either, if you have a yoga bolster, that's a really great option. It makes this pose really more restorative in nature. If you do not have a bolster, if you have 2 yoga blocks, I'll show you a variation that you can do using the blocks. If you do not have either of those things, I'll also show you a variation that you can do using pillows. So it's also very timely to be showing you this pose right now, given that February is Heart Month. And so this pose is also really great for opening the heart. From an energetic standpoint, it's good for the heart and throat chakras. So those wheels of energy that are located in the body, the heart chakra being located at the heart, and then the throat chakra as well. So both energetically and physically, this pose has a lot of great benefits. As a yin pose, you can hold this for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. I like to hold this pose for 5 minutes, but you can certainly adjust depending on what works best for your body. So I'll show you first with the bolster. On your yoga mat, you'll bring your bolster towards the top of your mat, lengthwise. And as you come down onto your back, on your bolster, you will bring your shoulder blades down onto your bolster. Rest your head back. Rest your arms down by your sides with your palms face up. Lengthen your legs, and you want to make sure you're in a position where your pelvis can be completely down on the floor. So I even like to just pick up my pelvis, move it down. I also like to press into my elbows, lift the heart up, draw shoulder blades towards each other, and then settle those shoulder blades back down. Rest your arms back down by your sides. Your legs can either stay out straight and long, or you can bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall open for butterfly legs. Only if this feels okay on your outer hips and your inner legs. You might feel a nice stretch there, but if it feels like too much, you can always just straighten the legs. So this is option 1 using the bolster. I'll also show you the option with the blocks. So if you have 2 yoga blocks rather than a bolster, you bring 1 block vertically, the other block above that horizontally. I recommend starting with the lowest setting. You can always adjust to a higher setting if you feel more open and if it feels okay in your body, but I always recommend starting with the lowest. As you come down onto your blocks, make sure that first block is just between your shoulder blades. So we'll start about halfway on your back, down your back. Make sure your pelvis can be nice and settled into the floor. Then rest your head back on the other block. And a couple of things you want to watch out for if you're using blocks is that the block between your shoulder blades is straight. It's not pressing more on one side than the other. And also that it's not too low. You don't want it pressing into your low back, you want it between the shoulder blades. Same thing here, you can bend your elbows, point your fingertips towards the sky, press into your elbows, lift your heart up, draw your shoulder blades towards each other, and then set back down onto the block. Rest your arms by your sides, palms face up, and same thing, legs can either be straight or in butterfly. Now, if you are using blocks, when you are ready to come out of this pose, I recommend that you bend your knees, plant your feet, press into your elbows, your forearms, your hands, engage your core, and lift yourself off of the blocks rather than rolling to the side, because especially if you're using blocks that are a little bit denser and harder, you just don't want to roll over the edge of those blocks. If you're in a bolster, rolling off is perfectly fine. Last option I'll show you, in case you don't have any of those fancy yoga props, is with pillows. And depending on the length of your pillow, you might only need one, you might need two. I also recommend using a pillow that's a little denser, not super squishy. This one, a little more tricky to come into because you want to fold your pillow in half. So you want to hold on to your pillow while you're making your way onto it. And so hold that pillow folded in half, lay back onto it so that, again, it's between the shoulder blades and underneath your head. If your pillow is not quite long enough, you can use another pillow underneath your head. Drop your head back to open your throat, open up your heart, rest your arms down by your sides, palms face up, gaze up at the ceiling, and rest your legs in either butterfly pose or straight out, whatever feels better in your body. Relax into your support, whatever it is, whether it's bolster, blocks, or pillows. Take nice, long, deep, full breaths here while you're in this pose, and notice the movement of your lungs and your heart as you breathe. As you inhale and fill up, you feel the lift of your chest, your heart, and then as you exhale, feel that drop back down. And you can stay in this pose for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Once you're done, if you are in butterfly legs, use your hands outside of your thighs to draw your knees together. Again, if you're on a bolster or a pillow, you can just roll straight off. If you are on the blocks, I suggest engaging your core, bending your knees, pressing into your feet and your elbows, and lifting yourself off of the blocks. After doing this pose, I recommend that you lay on your back in either Shavasana, or you could take constructive rest. So Shavasana would be just with arms and legs out straight. If you have any discomfort in your low back, take constructive rest instead. Bend your knees, plant your feet, let your knees fall to each other. Just to be sensitive on the low back. That pose, supported fish, is a little bit of a back bend, so we just want to come back to a nice neutral position of the spine afterwards. I recommend that you stay in Shavasana or constructive rest pose for about 3 to 5 breaths, or until your back feels ready to move on. Thank you for joining today. I hope you enjoy that pose as much as I do. Have a wonderful day.